Most traders are stuck in stage 3 and they don't even realize it. So basically, they've learned some strategies. They know a thing or two about trading, and yet nothing ever changes. Their results never change. And this is what we call the graveyard for traders. And it feels a little bit like this. So you cycle between strategies, you strategy hop, okay? But you understand what you're looking at. You know the charts, but you somehow don't trust your strategy and you keep switching strategies every week or every month, okay? And also, it feels like you're close. You feel like you are close. You're almost there. You're about to make it. You know this feeling. I know you know this feeling because most traders are stuck here. You feel like you're close. You're about to make it. And this can keep you stuck for years. It's like the carrot dangling in front of the trader, and you are, it's just more than arm's reach away. So you're always trying to catch it. Like you can see the lifestyle. You can see the final end result. You can see everything, but you can't grab it. You can't actually hold on to it and make it real. And that's because you're stuck in stage 3 of the 4 stages of the trading cycle, if you like, right? And so that's why I created my course, the Inner Edge Pro, which is the boss level, okay? It's going to get you into the boss level where you break through stage 3 and level up and advance to stage 4. And stage 3 is basically your psychology that is holding you back, okay? Your subconscious programming, all of these negative beliefs. This is what keeps you switching strategies, hopping strategies. This is what keeps you looping in this graveyard. And until you break free from this, you're never going to level up. So that's what I do with the course, the Inner Edge Pro. We basically level you up from the inside so that you can finally make trading work. And I'll get into that later in the video, but basically by the end of this video, you're going to understand all 4 stages of the trading cycle, from beginner to mastery. Okay, there are 4 stages. And so once you understand this, then you're going to know exactly where you are, okay? Because if you don't know where you are, then you don't know how to get to where you want to go, right? So you have to have a clear understanding of where you are. So I'll lay that out in this video. So you'll want to make sure that you watch this to the end. And then before we get started, if you're new to my channel, go ahead, like and subscribe, drop your comments below. This is going to help boost the algorithm and get this message out to more traders like you that need to hear this. So let's get started. So stage 1. Stage 1 is what we call the unconscious incompetence. Unconscious incompetence. And this is basically the beginner stage. You don't even know that you don't even know that you know nothing. You're incompetent and you don't even know that you're incompetent. And this is like the beginner trader or someone that wasn't really into trading. They could have just been looking online passively at ways of, creating an income. So they might have been looking at drop shipping. They might have been looking at, I don't know, eBay or freelancing or whatever business opportunity online. There's many, right? So they're looking around and then they passively see a video on trading. Maybe they saw some trader in a fast car in a lifestyle video and it got really excited. It looked good. And so they said, okay, well, let's give that a try. And this is the innocent first stage where they think it's easy, where you think that trading is easy because somebody else that has been doing it for 10 years makes it look easy, right? Because they are that person, that YouTuber or whoever, that influencer is at the mastery level and they've put in the work. They've put in the years. So now trading is easy for them, right? But the beginner looks at it and thinks that it's easy. They don't really know what they're up against. And they don't even know what they don't know. They have no idea about anything. So that's where everybody starts at one point, okay? So that is the stage one, and that's called the unconscious incompetence. Stage two is now they've opened a demo account. They've looked at some YouTube videos. They're trying everything, and they're really all over the place. So they're playing with indicators. They're playing with a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, and they've taken trades. They've actually clicked buy and sell. They've either got a brokerage account somewhere with some broker. So they're in the game now. Now they are consciously incompetent. Okay, so now they realize how difficult it is. So they are coming to the reality of trading that, hey, it's not easy. It's actually hard. And at this stage, 90% will quit already. So this is like the first 3 months. So you see, they don't have the passion and the desire and the drive for trading. Some people just get into trading and realize early on that they don't like it. And that's fine too. I'm not judging anybody that, doesn't like it, right? And if they want to go and do something else, that's fine. They might gravitate to something else that is better, and then, they have success somewhere else. It doesn't mean that they're not going to be successful, okay? But that is stage two, when you come to the realization that it's difficult, okay? That it's not easy like the guy in the Lamborghini saying it was in the beginning, okay? So then it's now you get to stage three, where you are consciously competent, okay? This is where the majority of people that haven't quit yet, now they have the dog in them, so they have the fight, so they want to stick around and make it work, okay? And this is where I would say 90% of traders are at for the rest of their time. They haven't quit, so they didn't quit in the beginning. They said they actually like trading. They want to figure it out. They want to see it work. Okay, so now they're stuck in stage three, where they are at the conscious competence level. Okay, so they know what to do. They've been doing this for maybe a year, 2 years in. Okay, and they didn't quit. Okay, this is most probably you. Okay, but this is a smaller group of people, okay, from the entire planet. Like, this is already a special group of people, okay? Not everybody can do trading. Here's some numbers, okay? 1 in 500 men will go into trading. Okay, so you have 500 men, only one in the whole world. So out of the whole group of, the population, 1 in 500 will start to or try to trade, okay? And then out of that 1 in 500, less than 5% of those succeed. So you can see how elite or how small this skill set and this group of people are. Okay, so just by being in stage three, you are already 1 in 500 that didn't give up. So you're already winning. Like, you're already ahead of a lot of people. Okay, you're not normal. Okay, because like there's nothing normal about trading by any normal society standard, by the matrix, by whatever bullcrap the society impose on your way of living. So at this stage, you've already decided that you're not going to quit. There is no plan B. There is no plan B. You know, and you know, and you know that this is what you want to do, but you're stuck. You're stuck here, okay? This is the conscious competence level where you know what to do, but you can't hold trades. You have emotional issues. You still FOMO. So like, you might have paid $1,000 for an expensive course and you put a lot of time learning the course, but it works for your mentor, but it doesn't work for you. This is stage 3. This is the plateau that most people get stuck at. Okay. And it really comes down to one thing, and that is psychology. You see, the reason that your mentor, the guy that showed you the strategy, that sold you the course, or whoever, right? The reason it works for them, and then when you take the same trade and it doesn't work for you, the only difference is what is going on in here, internally, the psychology. So you don't know what that person has. And this is the problem in the industry, because the person that is doing well, that has mastered the trading, okay, that is selling the course, teaching the course, and whatever, right? That person, 9 times out of 10, is doing it intuitively. So their psychology is working intuitively in their favor. It's easy for them. So when it's easy for them, they don't understand that it's hard for you. So that's why they don't teach you the psychology part, because they never consciously overcame the psychology part. They didn't have to reprogram anything. They always had the right psychology from the beginning. That's why they're anomalies. These people are the most rare types of individuals in the world. They were basically born to trade, and that's like 1 in a million. So what happens there is, because there's a disconnect between you and your mentor, and they're not teaching you the psychology. And if they do try to teach you psychology, it's very surface level. It's not deep like the way I go into psychology on this channel. There's a big difference. So you're stuck here and you cannot get the result. You're just bouncing around and never really going anywhere. Okay. And you don't know how to hold your trades. You don't know how to stop revenge trading. Like, they can teach you the strategy, but if you can't hold yourself from revenge trading, if you can't stop yourself from clicking the mouse, it's because you have an internal issue with your programming. And this is something that we fix within my course, the Inner Edge Pro, first link in the description. I have an entire module for reprogramming revenge trading. This is one of the most successful modules within the course, is the revenge trading, because it happens to everybody. And we go in and we delete the emotion, and then suddenly there's no need to revenge trade. And there's a lot more, right? But most people don't even get to that level. They don't even understand that they are revenge trading. They don't understand that psychology is 90% of trading. The strategy is only 10%, right? You can learn the strategy. The strategy is easy, and I've said this before, right? But the psychology is hard. And until you appreciate and respect the psychology, you're always going to be stuck at this stage 3, right? And then you can be stuck there for 10 years, like I was at one stage, right? Because my personal story was, I completely foo-fooed psychology. I thought it was nonsense. I didn't think it was important. And until I gave in and surrendered and just said, yep, psychology is the thing that is really important. Until I did that, which I did it like this year, that's when I started to have results. It's that simple. It's psychology is the final boss level that you have to master in order to level up into the final stage 4, which is what we call the unconscious competence. Now you are doing things unconsciously competent. You know what to do, and you don't have to think too much about it. Everything is automatic. This is where you want to be. This is what mastery looks like and feels like, where you know how to mark up your charts. You know how to handle a loss. You know how to handle a win. You don't overtrade. You don't revenge trade. You don't feel fear. There is no fear. You don't hesitate. You don't guess your trades. You don't do any of that nonsense. You just trade. And it's an automatic flow. And then all of a sudden, you're not swimming against the current. You're swimming in flow. You're in alignment with the current, with the right direction, with the market order flow, with everything. It's just in alignment with your thoughts, your trades, your setup. This is where you want to be. This is the beautiful, like, enlightened level. This is true mastery. And you don't even change your strategy because you've done the back testing. You back test every day. You know what your numbers are. You know your stats. This is true mastery. Okay. The only thing that you might do is refine, right? You might, because every trade you take, you're going to learn something. So if you learn something useful, like placing your stop or placing your TP at a particular place instead of at the absolute swing high or something like that, if you have intel and feedback and information that you learn, that only sharpens your axe. You're not trading, you're not changing your strategy, you're just adding it, you're refining, you're just improving. Do you understand? There's a difference. Changing your strategy hopping, is what the people stuck in stage 3 do because they get frustrated. And so they think it doesn't work. They don't really know if it works. So then they see something new and they go, oh, that looks good. So they try that. And then they take the same baggage, the same psychology to that. And then they have the same problem. And then they switch again and then again and again. And it's a failure loop, right? But when you're at the mastery level, you know your strategy. You don't need to change your strategy. You know yourself and you're just refining. And every time you trade, you get better. Or every loss you take, you get better because you learn something. This is the true mastery level. This is what it looks like. So that's what my course is all about. It gets you to that final stage. Okay. It's the only course that will actually go in and reprogram your subconscious mind for trading, specifically for trading. Okay. I've set it up in a way that it's only for trading. Okay. And you'll start to see things change over time. Okay. You're not going to be changing your strategy. You'll be sticking to your strategy rather and refining it and refining yourself. You're going to be journaling and refining your emotions and you're just going to be improving. It's self-improvement. Trading is the ultimate self-improvement program. You were, whether you like it or not, you were forced into self-improvement because you wanted to be trading. And if you don't improve yourself, you will never make it as trading, in trading, right? Your trades are a reflection of you, what's going on inside. So that is basically a detailed layout of all the 4 stages and why most people are stuck at stage 3. So if you're ready to level up to stage 4, then you know what to do. Click the link below in the description. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and like and subscribe and drop your comments below. Let me know what stage you're at and maybe I can help you. Until the next video, you're on your own. Take care now. Bye.